Greetings, everyone. This is a message for International Women's Day, a day of celebrating women's achievements and remembering our history and struggles which continue to this present day. My name is Zita Holborn. I'm one of the National Vice Presidents of PCS and also really proud to be the chair of the National Women's Forum of PCS, working with some fantastic sisters across the Union. Our message to the government on this International Women's Day is that they need to address the unequal pay that women are experiencing in the UK right now, including across our membership. We've seen the budget announcements which deliver nothing for us as public sector workers and nothing for us as women in terms of pay. Over the last decade and more, we've experienced pay caps and pay freezes that in real terms have meant a pay cut for our members. The majority of PCS members are women. So of course this has adverse disproportionate impacts on gender grounds. In addition, it's meant that the pay gap between men and women, which successive governments are supposed to have closed a long time ago, is widening. And so we face discrimination as women in pay. And for those of us who are intersectional women, that gap is even wider. So for example, if you're a Black woman, you have a double impact. Our message to the government is that they need to stop paying lip service to gender and other equality. We don't need any more reports produced that tell us what we know, that discrimination exists. What we need is real action, and real action as a matter of urgency. And that includes on pay, and that includes closing the pay gap between men and women. And as it's International Women's Day, I want to share with you some of the things that we're doing in PCS. And of course, because we're in a virtual world, we're not able to put on physical events, but we just had a fantastic fringe meeting which was focused on Black women and the impacts of the pandemic last week at the TUC Women's Conference. We participated in the conference and contributed to all the major debates at the conference. And we have a fantastic event coming up on the 30th of March, which is our celebration of women, past, present and future. And our keynote speaker will be the director of UK Black Pride, somebody who's familiar to many people in PCS because she used to be the head of campaigns and also the head of equality at PCS, Phyllis Opokujima. So we're really looking forward to that event, and we hope you'll register to attend. Details will be published shortly. We're using the hashtag throughout Women's History Month, PCS, a better future for women. And we've also produced some key history facts marking the achievements of women. And so if you use that hashtag on any of the PCS social media platforms, you'll be able to find daily graphics which provide those facts and the materials that we're using. And we'd really like to hear from you in two respects. One, we'd like to hear from you about the real impacts on you of coronavirus and the pay freeze. We know that women are the primary carers, and during the pandemic, caring responsibilities have increased. So many of our PCS women members will be juggling childcare, homeschooling, caring for extended family members who are extremely vulnerable or high risk of the coronavirus, and also work. And we know that many of our members are also key workers and have had to go into workplaces physically, and that includes our outsourced workers. We'd like you to take part in our PCS Pay Campaign, also to support the TUC Pay Campaign for key workers. They have a petition as well on their website that you can sign, and also to support our Dying for Sick Pay campaign, which is focused on our outsourced workers, calling on occupational sick pay, full sick pay from day one, and to stop this difference of treatment of our outsourced workers working in facilities management roles, and for them to be having the same terms and conditions and treatment and pay and rights as workers in the civil service. In addition, in the culture sector, there have been threats of redundancy which have disproportionately impacted on women. So please support those members across the board, across our union membership. And finally, we would really like to hear from you about any events that you're organising for Women's History Month and International Women's Day in your branches, virtual events. And you can share details by contacting the Equality Department, by posting them on social media using the hashtag that I mentioned, PCS A Better Future for Women. And we also have, if you're active on Facebook, a PCS Women Facebook group. So sending you best wishes and solidarity for this International Women's Day. And thank you for everything you do as workers and in our trade union movement.